Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, so guys, if you just missed me, I was just on Sherrill's World talking about Potomac, but my furniture arrived today. My stuff is here. My studio is going to be set up, and I'm so excited, guys. My internet is going to be faster, no more lagging, and so many fun things to come. I just realized, so I'm going from like 9 shows to 14 or 15 a week. We have a lot coming up, but now that I'm getting settled, I don't even care. I just want to take on the workload and just start pumping out content. So many fun interviews, so many new exciting shows. I feel like just positive. I'm starting to feel positive. But okay, with that being said, if you guys haven't already, make sure you like this video. It helps us tremendously. It helps us get a lot of eyes. Also, I did want to say thank you guys again so much. We raised $201 last Friday. So that was with Pops. He owes you guys a tattoo show. And I think now we can jump into 90 Day Fiance the other way. Okay. All right, guys. And also, by the way, as I do this, let me go ahead and drop the link because I'm so excited to talk to everybody today. So whenever you guys want to, you can start calling in, but I'm going to start off with Brittany and Yazan. And if you guys want to call in by couple or just call in at the end, whatever you feel, just do it. Okay. But Yazan and Brittany, nothing screams more fake storyline than this couple. And the reason I say that is because Brittany has her divorce, right? Things are finally going the way that she wanted them to, but now she has another excuse of why she wouldn't be getting married. So it seems like it's one thing after another with Brittany. Now that you're divorced, what is the excuse now? Well, the excuse now is that you're not going to pay for my plane ticket. Now that you have a plane ticket, what is your excuse? Well, I need you to fund my life. It seems like at this point, and that she's not going to convert to being Muslim, it seems like at this point, she's going to find any excuse that she can not to end up in a relationship with Yazan, which would probably, in her mind, solidify her in a new role on TLC's 90 Day, almost like Darcy when she had Jesse, and then she came back on with Tom. I feel like Brittany might think, okay, I can do that too. And a lot of people have been passing around the idea that it could potentially be Soulja Boy. I don't think it would be Soulja Boy, but I will take up an opinion just to see. Let's see real quick. Hi, Andrea. How are you? Oh, it's on mute. Let's see. All right, we'll come back. Guys, 74 in the room. Make sure you hit like, and we have Andrea right back on. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, sorry. I was
No, it's okay.
my earbuds.
All right, so Brittany and Yazan, let's cover them first, and then I'm going to go through the rest of the couples, but it's fake, right?
Yeah, totally fake. Fake
Okay.
and a $3 bill.
So this doesn't make sense at this point. Help me out, Andrea, because we're watching this, and she first had the one excuse of why she couldn't come back to Jordan. She was still married, right? Now that's over. Now she has another excuse because she's saying that she wanted a plane ticket. So now that he's finally got that, what is the problem?
I think the problem is that Brittany doesn't even know what she wants to do with her life. And she thinks that she can just go around and do whatever she wants and that she won't face consequences because she hasn't faced consequences. The one that is allegedly struggling and having a hard time is Yazan. So until she meets the, I forgot how to say that in English, like she meets her match.
Right.
I can see her still doing whatever she wants and just going in a destructive path.
Yeah, this isn't going to work. Well, this isn't going to work because he's not going to be able to fund a lifestyle for her. And I think that was a reality check when he said, hey, listen, I'm working about 14 hours right now a day. I'm going to be working all these different other jobs. I'm not going to be seeing you a whole lot. And then finally, he just came out and flat said, Brittany, if you think I'm a millionaire, I am not a millionaire. And I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. And I don't know, listen, I really have an issue when women expect men to pay for everything. Like, girl, you have 2 hands, you have 2 feet.
But she wants a sugar daddy. She wants a sugar daddy. She went down the wrong path. That's the problem here. She should have just stayed. I mean, Florida has a lot of them. She should have just stayed in Florida. She wouldn't have the cultural differences. You wouldn't have that barricade. You wouldn't have to travel.
True.
You don't need a plane ticket. You can have it all right here.
Mm-hmm. Very, very, very true.
All right, Andrea, I'm going to go on to the next couple, and I'm going to drop you down, but stay on because I'll bring you back up.
Okay.
All right. All right. So, guys, moving on to the next couple, I want to move on to Ariela and Biniam because this was rough, really rough. So, Ariela obviously gave birth to the baby. We know that. And it was by surprise in a cesarean section. So, she had a C-section and she was terrified. Honestly, the scene, and this isn't any disrespect to anyone living in a different country or if that's just normal. And I'm sure that is normal the way it looks. But for Ariela coming from a more privileged background, I think that when she saw that room where they were going to do her C-section, it terrified her. And then from there, guys, she has the baby. Okay, beautiful, healthy baby, right? She brings the baby home and the whole family is outside ready to greet her. And then as soon as they greet her, they pull out this sheep. They pull the sheep out and they want to do a sacrifice for the baby. So Ariela's like sitting there and she's like, wait, what are they doing? Why does the sheep look so scared? And they're like, oh, we just sacrifice it. And then they kill it and then they eat the lamb. That's like giving back thanks, right? And Ariela's freaking out. And imagine just coming home with your baby. And I'm sure, again, this might be normal in some other places, but for Ariela, she's not used to this. So imagine bringing your baby home and somebody being like, here's a sheep. Gah! And then after that, everybody walking in and you're sitting there with your baby. You finally just lay down after you just watched the sheep get slaughtered. And then you're laying down and then there's a whole pile of like aunties that come in the room and they start going, well, I can't make the chant, but they start chanting and Ariela's like, what is going on here? What's going on? I'm going to bring on an opinion because I'm curious. I think she'll have a good one. Let's see. Hi, Kim. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Did you watch the episode?
I did not watch the episode, but
no, you have to.
It was I know, so but okay, my allergy medicine knocked me out.
Oh no.
But, yeah, and I can't watch it without my husband because that just wouldn't be fair. So we're gonna watch it tonight. But yes, I've read and listened to the reviews on it.
Yeah, it was.
Which he doesn't know. But anyway, I had two C-sections, and my first one was an emergency C-section because my baby's heart rate dropped, and they had to get him out immediately. I was 17. I was terrified, but I was more afraid for my baby than for me, and she's more afraid for her than her baby. I lost a lot of respect for her through the whole delivery and everything. And the way that she has treated his family and him, he is bending over backwards, terrified of losing the child. And I understand she left with him.
I'm going to keep you on right now because I want to bring up a few opinions. And I'm curious because this is going to strike up a conversation. I don't know if everyone's going to necessarily agree that he's bending over backwards. I think a lot of people feel like she's been bending over backwards as well. But let's see. Hi, Dana. Hi, Pearl.
Hey.
Hi. Hey, Dana.
Hey.
All right.
Y'all?
So good. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you? Are you happy?
Good. All right.
I'm glad you got your stuff in, Adam.
Oh, thank you. Well, I just looked at, we'll talk about it. I completely forgot. And Jason sent me a text. My mirrored stuff is shattered, but that's fine.
Oh, no.
There could be worse. Pearl, I'm curious from your opinion. I want to let you start. Hi, Pearl.
Hi, Adam.
Hi. Do you agree with Kim in the fact that Biniam is the one bending over backwards and she was selfish during the pregnancy and only thinking about herself and not the baby? Do you feel that way?
I think they're both. I'm not going to say that she hasn't made a lot of sacrifices because I think she has. But I also think that he's also trying to be patient as well with her. Because I thought the whole you have to walk with the baby was a bit ridiculous. Because he, like he said, that's more dangerous than being in the car holding the baby. Like you said, you can fall, you can get attacked. It, looks really hot. He needed an umbrella, everything. I thought that was a bit silly, especially if it was just 5 minutes away.
Right.
I don't have a lot of sympathy for her because she made a decision to go and have her baby there. No one forced her to. It was her choice. She could have had a baby at home in New Jersey with her dad, who's a doctor, and her mom, who's a nurse, with her sister and her nephew and all her family. But she made the educated decision to go to Ethiopia and have her baby there, so she cannot flip on us now.
Well, but yeah, I understand that. I understand that she can't flip and everything, but don't you think by her going there and bending, like, don't you think he's still kind of like, she made the comment that she feels like she's being railroaded, and he's like, baptism, baptism, baptism. Don't you feel like that's kind of aggressive, knowing her background and knowing that she's already given up so much to be there, because she knew that he couldn't come there to the United States, so she sacrificed to go there to be with him. She could have been like the last ex that took off with the baby.
I mean, I appreciate that, she sacrificed, but you can't sacrifice and then complain, this sort of thing. If you're going to make the sacrifice, I appreciate that they both are making compromises here, because she made a compromise with the baptism thing and he made a compromise with the baby's name. So I do see them. I think they can work out. I think that they're both very understanding and both rational people. But when you have a baby, it's expected that people will come and see you, especially in African culture. You're going to have people come to see you. You've just had a baby. So it's not surprising that his aunties all showed up. Yeah.
All right. Dana?
It's complicated because I know when I had my first one, I was going through the depression that you can have after you have, what is it called? I have a brain.
Postpartum depression.
Right. I had postpartum depression after I had my first one and didn't know what was going on. And my brain was doing, and emotions were doing things that I did not expect and were completely not me. I was terrified almost to hold my baby alone without anybody there. But I was also very overprotective and just to the extreme about some things because I had been through so much with him. You have the hormones kicking in on top of it. And then all of a sudden you have this brand new baby. She went through something traumatic. And I'm not taking up, 100% for one or the other, but she's in a different land. She went there so the father could be with her when the baby was born. That is why she made the sacrifice to go there in the first place. All of a sudden they're saying you're having the baby now, this moment today. So she has no family with her. And it was terrifying just watching the little bits there. I know what it's like to have an emergency C-section. And all of a sudden your husband's not there. There's no family there. And they're wheeling you in. So watching her brought all of that back for me.
Wow.
And so when the hormones are rushing in, and here she is a brand new mother, she doesn't know a lot of things, so she's going on hormone and instinct. That's my feeling. And as a mother, when the baby has come out of you, she goes, that's my baby. That, right, wrong, or indifferent. In a lot of cases, whether it's rational or not, that's how you feel in that moment.
Okay.
That baby came out of you. You just went through all the struggle. You don't
want it passed around necessarily, just like to everybody.
No.
Yeah, I understand. I had postpartum depression too, and if it had not been for my mother, I couldn't have gotten through it because she did help a lot, and she would tell me, "Go lay down, and take a nap. I've got this."
And you don't want a million people touching the baby because of germs.
I didn't want anybody to.
All right.
I didn't.
Well, Kim, Pearl, Dana, stay on here. I'm going to move on to the next couple, and then I'll bring you guys back up for the next topic.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. So moving forward, we're going to go on to Ginny and Sumit. Okay, so this is another kind of a train wreck of a couple only because there's so many questions that arise when it comes to Ginny and Sumit. Before I tell you what the questions are, make sure you like this video, of course. But no, Ginny and Sumit, I didn't realize that they're living off of her Social Security. So if they're living off of Ginny's Social Security, my first question is, I thought when we first met Sumit, he had a job, Remember when they moved because he had a job and he was going back and forth, right? Or did I miss that? And 2, they want to get married, and somebody please correct me. I'll bring up again more callers so we can talk about this. But if you get married in a different country, do you lose your Social Security, or do you get to keep it and still live in India and now be married to an Indian man and now have to have a dual citizenship? I'm curious how that works, because I heard one person say, no, you earn that, so you get to keep it. But then I heard another person say that you have to forfeit it. And I don't want to come on here and just ridiculously say things that I don't know what I'm talking about. But I did want to know about living off of the social. And then I also thought it was really funny that his soon-to-be ex-wife was not only suing Sumit, but he was also suing the entire family. So it's not crazy. It's just a different culture. This is just insane how this works. So Sumit's soon-to-be ex-wife is now suing the entire family because she's saying that he was abusive and that I guess they were all a part of it in some capacity. And now she wants a form of money, some financial payment to make it right. Now, obviously, Jenny starts freaking out because they're living on pennies anyways. And that's when she exposes that they're living off the Social Security and he's not working. Sorry, it gets me so worked up. And I didn't know that. But I don't know. I'm lost here. Let's bring up Pearl. Dana, can you help me with this? Do you lose your Social Security, or do you get to keep your Social Security?
I'm not American, so I don't really know.
Last season, when she was first talking to the guy about coming over, they had told her if she went over there, she would probably lose it.
Well, somebody just said you get to keep your Social Security. Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, but is that no American, no Social Security? Oh, I didn't see that last part. Sorry. Yeah, I think that this is, I don't know. I hope maybe I'll talk to Dr. Kirk Honda on Wednesday and he might know. I'll ask him. But what was your opinion? And Pearl, I'll start with you. What was your opinion about watching Jenny and Sumit and seeing her offer him a ring? And it's almost like, again, with Kenny and Armando, she's like culturally unaware that a ring is symbolic, extremely symbolic, and there's a whole ceremony behind it. And then kind of getting in her feelings a little bit when he had to deny the ring.
She's aware. She said herself that he promised her a ring ceremony before and he didn't deliver. So she knows about the ring ceremony. I think she was just trying to push him in that direction to say, let's have the ceremony, let's get married and all that stuff. So she does know, she's been to India so many times. She knows India better than the Indians. she knows everything. She loves the culture. She knows everything about India. So she knows about the steps you have to take to get a divorce, the steps you have to take to get married. She's been to the lawyers, so she knows everything. She's just trying to push. At this point, I have no sympathy, no feelings whatsoever for Jenny. I don't have any tolerance for her. I don't even want to, I want to skip over her parts now, because now I just see her completely different. And now that I know, I feel like there's just so many secrets in this storyline. Like, I want to know exactly what happened between Sumit and his wife that caused their marriage to break down, because we haven't really heard anything from that, because the mother, Sumit's mother, said, I didn't know she would turn out that way. So I don't know what Sumit's wife did to him that he wanted to commit suicide. I want to explore that. That's more interesting to me than Jenny. I'm not interested in Jenny anymore.
Okay, Dana?
I don't think it was Sumit's wife that made him want to commit suicide. It was an arranged marriage, and I don't feel like he wanted to be in it from the get-go.
Hi, Lady O.
Hey guys, hi Dina, hey Pearl.
I'm curious. Have you been listening?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I'm curious. Since we're on the topic of Jenny and Sumit, I agree with you, Dana. But then my next question is the ex-wife, with her now suing the entire family and attacking everybody, do you think that might actually push the family into liking Jenny, because she's not I mean, that has to be, does that, you know what I'm saying? Does that counteract Jenny?
Well, it possibly, but I mean, the ex-wife inevitably dropped it.
I thought they dismissed it.
Well, yeah, they dismissed it. But I mean, he was saying that the family dismissed it.
Oh.
The ex-wife at court dismissed it.
But that's because they had a deal, wasn't it? That if he paid them $20,000, they would drop the case. So they took the money. That's why they dropped it.
He is going to have to pay him $20,000 over time instead of the $20,000 and $500 a month.
Yeah.
This is okay.
Well, I just wanted to add this as someone whose father was born in India, and I understand this part, is when an arranged marriage occurs, the bride's family has to pay the bride price in her family towards the husband's or the bridegroom's family. So it essentially is a business contract. So I read a lot of reviews that are saying like, oh, she's so petty. But you have to remember that arranged marriage is essentially a business contract. So he broke this contract. So she has every right to take him to court, because basically what he did is, just like in America, he broke his contract. He didn't, and like Dana was saying, I just think he didn't want the responsibility of being a real husband and man. His parents did the arranged marriage like most Hindu families do, and he wanted to be a scammer, and he just wanted to be, I said, a Splenda baby. He found this older lady who thought he had money, and he wanted to live off of her. What is the first thing Sumit did as soon as Jenny came off the plane to India? He quit his job. He quit that telemarketing job. This guy is a joke. And he did bring shame. You guys have to understand that a woman in India, who is a part of the caste system as a Hindu, when you marry her, that is her social status. If you divorce her, that is one of the biggest shames. You leave her with no social status. It seems that this wife has some kind of, her family has means to actually take him to court and pursue this, because a lot of families sell their daughter off to a man because they just don't have money to provide. Sorry, Adam, go ahead.
No, that was so informative. Thank you. Wow. No, that makes a lot of sense. And almost the fact that, so it's like for Jenny, this means nothing because, oh God, please, nobody rip me apart. But it seems like over here in America, sometimes more often than not, that it's more conventional to have a divorce than it is to have a long-lasting marriage. And it seems like you have a lot of infidelities and like mess ups, and people, it doesn't wear on you the same and affect people the same. Not everyone, at least. Whereas like over there in India, it's just a whole stigma throughout the whole culture that you just, once you're divorced, it's almost like are you would the analogy like a broken toy? Or is that what you're trying to say? Like people look at them.
I think Pearl could understand this too, because I think Western and European people are the only ones in the world that marry for love. The rest of the world, in the East, we marry for either the family have some kind of business relation, or it's just that you can't afford to have an extra mouth anymore. The person has to move on. So it's like you have to marry from good stock, and your parents have to be involved, and the family has to be involved. So when you divorce someone, that family has given you a bride's price because they're saying, just in case he dies. Remember, in these countries, in Arab countries, and Indian and African countries, when if something happens to your husband, he dies, there's no such thing as an insurance policy, life insurance, or if he divorces you, or, there's no alimony typically. Even till today, if this happens in a Muslim family, there is nothing. So you have to go back to your family, and you put shame on that family. That is a big deal in the East. Their honor, family honor is everything. In America, it's you marry, you can get a divorce, it's at your free will, and nobody is going to look at the woman. Why? Because that woman can go out and work and make a living and still support herself. You have to remember, these women are not viewed the same. You're looking at it from an American point of view, and I just called in just to say you have to look at it from a different perspective.
No, I think now, Lady O, you opened my eyes, because now I feel like Americans have it wrong, kind of, because only in the sense that my stepsister, she lives at home, and then my stepmom or even my stepbrother or even my brother, if they live at home, and you might talk to my mom and she'll be like, how do I get them out of the house? Or it's, like they're here and I wish they would just, get out, or whatever the case is. And it's not, like over there, it's just like, okay, well, we're done feeding you. So it's business transaction. I'm about to make some money. You're going to get married and you're getting out of my house. Like if my dad do that, he'd probably do that.
Can I just add to what Lady O said? Also remember, this is a society that operates with an arranged marriage. If you've been divorced, no one is going to marry you again. So that's like a black mark for you. So no other family is going to come and want to arrange a marriage with your family for you. So in a way, it kind of puts her.
It's a badge of dishonor.
It's like her chances of getting remarried and actually starting a family now are much slimmer had she not married Sumit. So in a way, it's kind of destroyed her future, because now she wants to get married and have her own children. She's gonna be, and not the other. Even if she finds someone she's in love with, their family may not accept her because she's already been divorced. So that's a whole lot of shame that's come upon that woman. So I understand her
100%.
anger. And also, let's just say $20,000 is nothing. Okay, that's literally your divorce settlement there. In America, people split everything 50-50. They can walk out with a lot more. That the $20,000, that's all you get for all your pain and suffering. That's nothing. So I understand why she was looking for the $500 a month as well, because she's going to be a spinster for a while, and it's not going to be easy for her going forward.
Okay, Dana.
Also, I have seen that in India, let's say that there is an Indian couple and that husband is severely abusive to the point of almost killing the wife or hurting the children or whatever. An Indian woman can go before the law or before a judge and say, my husband is abusing me, he's trying to kill me, he's hurting the children. And because it's such a society of looking at the male, and like Lady O was saying, a caste system, and there's a hierarchy system with the women, there has to be a whole room of men and a court, so to speak, for them to decide whether they're willing to allow the woman to divorce or not.
Wow.
And actually that it never pretty much happens. And if you want to do the research, India has one of the highest rates of domestic violence towards women, because it's like one of those societies where unless your family is well off and well to do, even if you can make a complaint to the police, it is a corrupt government. You can go and pay those cops off and they'll never look into it. And the woman could die. It has been a lot of, especially in North India, in the Punjabi region, where women will get murdered for making complaints like that by their own family, for as far as like honor killings, and nobody looks into it because the family is well-to-do and they pay the courts off. Also, there's a law in India that it's up to the defendant if they want to forgive the person who killed the relative, and the person does never have to go to jail. So that it just gets so deep. I didn't mean to take it that deep.
Yeah.
No. I really appreciate it. It was so informative.
But a lot of times the parents or the birth families are so poor and they can't afford to take the daughter back in. So the daughter either ends up living on the streets, or they just deny her divorce and she does get beat to death.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will say Sumit's wife probably made out better, because thank God she didn't get pregnant by this man. That would be like the forever permanent stain on her. I know friends that are Punjabi who have like gone to the Mandir and got matchmakers because they've been married and divorced, and they find it so hard to be with people, to marry, because their family won't, as Pearl said, the family will not accept someone who has been divorced already. And even men have a hard time dating after divorce as well in the Indian community. So this is a real big issue that TLC did a poor job. How Abladi was saying yesterday, they did a poor job explaining Nigerian and West African culture. I feel the same, that they've done this in Indian Arab culture. It's so important, what's going on here, and they make it seem like they show Jenny's perspective as like, oh, it's just a divorce, get over it, you don't need that money. Yeah, she does need that money, and thank God that she has the money to sue for it, right?
Wow. Okay, Dana, Pearl, Lady O, stay on real quick. I'm going to cover Kenny and Armando, and I'm going to bring you guys all back on. All right, guys. So Kenny and Armando, this was another kind of, I don't know. I'm a little all over the board with Kenny and Armando because I'm really, really rooting for them. Actually, I know that Lady O and Pearl, they're going to be pretty informative. And I even like when Andrea O is on here for this one too, because, you know, she's in Mexico and we're talking about Mexican culture, right? So when we're talking about Kenny and Armando, I thought it was super sweet when we see the car ride over and little Hannah's so excited because she's about to see her new room and her new home. Yeah, the whole time over though, you're noticing that Armando's having to translate for Kenny because he can't understand Hannah. Now, the only problem that I have in this instance when we're talking about the car was how stubborn it seemed that Kenny was. Because when this was brought up, Kenny said, or Armando said, you know, either she's going to have to learn English or you're going to have to learn Spanish. And Kenny goes, well, you know which one it's going to be. And it's like, well, what does that mean? It would, instead of the maybe kind of like the more, I would just think a more appropriate answer would be like, oh, or just a little bit of both. You know, like she can teach me Spanish and I can teach her English, and that could be a bonding moment for them. But that's not where they went. But when they did get to the house, the cool thing was that Hannah was super excited and everything was great pretty much until we got to the market. Now, when we got to the market, we realized that Kenny and Armando have completely different parenting styles. And yeah, I think that was obviously apparent. I think when I think we saw a different side to Hannah too. In all fairness, we're talking about a child. And she's really excited. And she just sat in a car, moved from her everything that she knows, her friends, her family. And she's so optimistic and excited about having two dads. By the way, the book that was in Spanish about the two dads, so cute. But she's so excited about the two dads. I think she's been a completely good sport. And yeah, she's hustling her dad a little bit at the market, asking for a bow and a purse and a shaved ice and an ice cream and everything else under the sun. But it's just these little things. And in that moment, almost like when you're on a vacation, you just kind of maybe, okay, yeah, you know, this is special. It's our first time at the market, and then maybe come back to reel it in. But I don't think Kenny can necessarily start just chanting at Armando how he should be parenting and how that's really not going to work, because I think that's the easiest way to have a disagreement with your partner. Now, I grew up with a couple different step parents. And when I did, I always noticed that my parents had problems when those step parents would try to parent me, because I already had two parents. I had a mom and a dad. So when I had a stepmom and a stepdad who would come in and try to tell me how to do things or how I should act or behave or whatever, my real mom or dad would get extremely, frustrated with that. Right. So then finally I have my stepmom now, who I love. She came into the picture and she was just like, look, dude, I'm not your mom. I'm your stepmom. I'm here as a support system, but I don't need to be your mom. You already have a mom. And I think that is kind of, honestly, I appreciated that, being the child. Now I'm going to bring up the callers because I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think that Kenny and Armando should both be parenting them and both be kind of, what is it called? Reprimanding Hannah? Or do you feel like that should be all on Armando and Kenny should be more of just a support system? Especially, how can you even be hard on her when you're not even trying to learn the language and you can't even understand her? Imagine how frustrated it is for a little girl who can't talk to you. That's just my opinion. But okay, let's first, Andrea. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Lady O.
Hey there. Hey, Andrea.
Hello.
All right. Let's try to I'll keep filling up the room as long as we don't have bad mics. Andrea, I'm going to start with you, and then I'm going to keep adding people to the room. But you're in Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about this situation? Do you feel like Kenny's being a little bit stubborn, or do you think he's being fair?
No, he's being totally stubborn in the way of saying that, oh, well, I'm not going to learn Spanish, so she has to learn it. Like, no, you can both teach each other, and that would be a great thing, because they could bond over that. in that way, I'm not saying that Kenny should be as tough as a parent as Armando could be, because that line is a bit blurry. But
Right.
that could give her, like, maybe he can talk with Hannah about stuff when she's being stubborn, like, hey, come on, your dad is being telling you to do this, like, to be an actual parent. But if he expects Hannah to be the only one putting an effort into building a relationship, it's going to be extremely hard.
Okay. Lady O?
I just think he should be a support to Armando.
I agree.
I think he shouldn't overstep. He should maybe focus more on learning the culture and the language, and just play his part.
Right. And it's so interesting because Kenny can't seem to understand anything until he starts seeing her hustle for a purse and a shaved ice. And all of a sudden, though, when he starts seeing that she wants things and she's getting a little bit excited and she's getting her way, now he's starting to understand. I thought that was a little ironic too. But Pearl?
I think they should co-parent. And the reason I think so is because Hannah is still very young. So she's at the age where she can grow up with Kenny, seeing Kenny as her dad,
Okay.
because she still has a lot of years of a lot of experiences that he's gonna, if they work out, he's gonna be a part of a lot of things in her life. So I don't think he should just sit back and be, and have no say. I think he would be a good dad because, like they said, he's raised 3 daughters and a son. So I think he knows what he's doing. I agreed with what he was saying, but I don't think that was the right time or the right place to say it.
So you agree with the message, not the delivery.
Exactly. So I agree. I think he should have just sat down and observed, and then later on they can have a conversation about it, and he can say, I think you are being too soft, or they can do the good dad, bad dad thing, where one is strict and one is really easy to manipulate, sort of thing. And so I don't think that he should just be I don't think he should be at the back, because I want Hannah to see him as she sees Armando. I want them to have that sort of relationship where he can correct her, but out of love.
Well, a question for you really quick. Do you think that by playing that supportive, if he sticks with the support role, do you think at some point Hannah might get into her 15, 16, 17-year-old self and tell him, you're not my dad, you can't tell me what to do? And that's why he should really stay as the firm, no, I still am the adult, I still am the father figure. So there is some sort of discipline here.
Exactly. And I also think it will make their relationship stronger if they co-parent, because then she would have respect for what he has to say as well. So, I just think that if they have a long-term plan, if they have a long-term plan to be together, then they should work together, and Kenny should be able to correct Hannah if she's, misbehaving or something, because she will. She's a little girl, and I think that he would be good at it. But I also want to put out that I still think they should move back to Florida. I don't think they have any business being there. If they want to stay in Mexico, then stay with Amanda's family.
Yeah.
I don't see why they're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's not like they have any particular job they're doing there. That's why they're there. I don't understand why they're there. So just go back to Florida, be closer to Kelly's family. Hannah is very young. She can learn English really easily at that age. And just have some family with you. Don't just be in the middle of nowhere by yourselves. You need some support as well.
Okay, that was fair. All right. And Dana?
I think the reason they moved where they did is because where his family is not as accepted to be a gay couple, and they would have more danger. That's why they moved a little further out, so they could be a little bit more free in their relationship. That was my understanding.
But then also, though, but like Pearl said too, at that point, then maybe I understand that Armando voiced it on the show, saying I want Hannah to stay in Mexico and be close to her family in some capacity because I want her to keep those strong traditions and values. But at the same time, I get what Pearl's saying. It's it's better to be with some family on either be there or be here, but being in the middle by yourself, why?
Yeah.
But
Andre?
she's still in the Mexican culture though.
Yeah, but then they don't have like, but that's what Pearl's saying is then they're essentially just on their own though. There's really no support. They're definitely immersed in the Mexican culture for sure, but they just have each other, and that's fine too. But they could have a lot more support and help if they did go to Florida, technically.
And there's a lot of Latin culture in Florida as well.
Yeah,
So not
there really
like
is.
you're in the Midwest, you know.
True, but I mean, think of it like this. Maybe, I mean, this was a big step for Armando, period. Maybe he just wasn't ready to completely leave Mexico.
Fair enough.
That could be fair too. But then also, and then this is where it's kind of you're playing both sides here, because some people think that, like, don't bring, like, America is it's so crazy right now. Don't bring her here. She's better off there in Mexico. But then other people are like, no, there's a lot of different Hispanic communities that are right there in Florida, right next to Tampa, that she would integrate into Florida great, and that she would have a lot more opportunity. But I think ultimately that is Armando's decision, because he is the real parent here.
Right. And do we really know what the laws are with immigration and stuff at this moment, with things as crazy as they are?
No.
I don't know.
No.
But as far as Armando and Kenny, real quick, I think that Kenny should be the supportive, is your life in danger parent. Are you going to run across the street? Are you going to get hurt? Are you really acting out parent? I feel like that, Kenny should be. I feel like Armando, the dad, should be the buck stops here parent. The primary one where the final decision is made.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. I was about to say, I think that
he can be a support to the main parent.
Yeah. All right. Dana, Andrea, Lady O, Pearl, stay on. I'm going to hit Devan and Jihoon, and then we're going to wrap it up. And then I will bring up, I have Natalie in the room. I have Kim, a couple other callers, and I will bring everybody up. All right, guys. So Devan and Jihoon. So this was what I made the thumbnail about, because she kind of, to me, this was really embarrassing. Only because who makes their significant other walk them up or bring them up to their job, actually go in, sit down, and explain what you do? I mean, at that point, if you don't trust the person, you probably shouldn't be with them. But for Devan, she wanted to know what was going on with Jihoon. And Jihoon does have a shady, bad stolen cell phone selling past. So which side are you? This could go either way. But Devan did go in. She did embarrass him. She did tell his boss something that he didn't know, the fact that Jihoon was at one point selling stolen cell phones. And like I said, I was mortified. She kept complaining the whole time because now she wants to get married and she wants a big wedding. She doesn't want what the traditional Korean wedding wants, right? She wants this big shebang American thing. But once they went to the banquet, it seemed like she wanted to complain about everything. I thought the banquet was beautiful, but for Devan, it wasn't going to work. The runway, which is technically the aisle, and the 1 hour time limit, it's not happening. She comes off a little, and this is how I'm perceiving it. I feel like she comes off a little disrespectful to Jihoon's family. I feel like they're kind of sitting there like, oh, well, we're doing this for you guys and we're sitting here and you're happy, right? You want a wedding. And she's just like, I'm not happy. But for her, I understand too. It's just like Ariela coming to Ethiopia. Just because Devan came to or went to Korea, it doesn't mean that she has to give up all of her customs and traditions. If she wants a slow dance at the wedding, then she should have a slow dance. If she wants a little bit longer of a time, at the end of the day, it's not just Jihoon's way. It has to be a little bit of both. But also, Devan sometimes makes it a lot about her way too. So we're conflicted. I'm going to bring up a caller. Hi, Natalie. How are you?
I was actually trying to get good. How are you?
Good.
I was trying to get onto the conversation of
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Being a single mom myself, I have 2 kids, one from a previous marriage and one now, and I'm also Mexican. I guess I understand in the fact that he should be a supportive dad figure to her,
right?
Because it's not as easy having somebody come in, even though they are, married or they're going to get married. it's not that easy to let somebody else come in and try to step in and try to parent your kid. You know, it's being a single mom, it's like, you know what, there's a certain line you don't cross. So for me, it's like the supportive figure is better than being like, hey, I'm stepping in to be a dad, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But then do you feel like you lose the respect? Like as Hannah gets older, will she not respect Kenny the same and kind of walk all over him because he wasn't
respect him a little bit more if he was like supportive, because she would feel like, you know what, he's not a bad guy. He's not trying to lecture me or tell me what I need to do or how I need to be doing it, but he's more of like, hey, you know what, take a different approach with your dad if you want, you know, to have a better relationship. Or because in the same situation, I have, you know, a new relationship now, and I have another little girl. And when I would get upset with my daughter for not doing something or because she was doing something she shouldn't be doing, I would tell her, you know what, you need some time to cool down, go sit in your room and relax. But she would be upset and she would be crying. So I would be frustrated, and I would be telling my new partner the situation, and he would go into the room and tell her, look, this is why your mom is upset. If you want to talk to your mom, tell her how you feel. Tell her what's going on. Tell her why you're upset. Tell her why you were doing this.
It's so almost like a weird backwards way of good cop, bad cop, kind of.
Exactly. But it works in the end because she has a good relationship with him. You see what I mean?
It's like you're almost manipulating this bond in a way, but really it's manipulation in a good way. It's because you're kind of forming like, okay, Kenny, this is your moment where you can go in and kind of coax her and be like, you know, like this is why your dad is upset. Maybe if you look at it from his perspective.
But it's in a good way. It sounds bad.
Exactly. It's one of those things like I know it sounds bad, but actually the word manipulation sounds bad, but it's just how you use it, guys.
It's how you're building the relationship, you know? It's how you're building it and how you're trying to like establish a good relationship and try to teach them in a good way how to take a different approach as and becoming an adult in a sense. Like he might explain that to her now as a kid, but in the future, she might be using it herself when she's in a situation in the same way herself. You see what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
I totally get it. As a kid,
we teach kids like, okay, you have to learn how to save your money. Oh, you have to learn how to talk to somebody because not everybody's going to feel the same way as you. So when they grow up, they're going to see like, you know what? They implemented that to me when I was a kid growing up. So now I'm going to try to do that now and make things better.
Okay. So I agree with you on this with Kenny and Armando, and I like your perspective, especially because you feel like you can relate. But now I'm curious, going back to Devan and Jihoon, what was your opinion on her making him take her to the cell phone shop? Is that fair or no?
It's kind of a tough one with that one because it's like, do you want your kid to be around that?
I mean, so far Jihoon has fibbed a few times, right? But then also, this is a tough one because Devan, she seems like she has a personality that would be kind of sometimes tough to kind of go back and forth with because I just don't know how to say that in the best way. But then Jihoon, you know, when you lie a lot, that's why people become that way. So it's almost like. Yeah. Sometimes when you see Devan behave the way that she does, it's like, well, dude, if I were in a relationship and I felt like I was being lied to every 10 seconds, then I would probably kind of seem like I was bitter in some way too. It seems like that would just be the natural way of being.
It's true. Once you lie to somebody, everything changes. Nothing ever stays the same. You've already crossed that line where you can't trust somebody. So it's like you keep lying, you keep saying all these things. How am I going to believe you or trust you?
I agree.
Especially
okay.
When you have a kid.
And Natalie, before I go ahead and start rotating out the callers, I'm curious now. I always ask before I end off the show, what are we looking forward to most next week? So I'm curious, which couple are you looking forward to most next week and why?
I'm looking more at Brittany and Yazan. I want to see what happens in that situation because to me, it seems like she's only looking for fame. It doesn't seem like she's looking for anything serious.
I feel like that's just like the general, like that's everybody just feels the same way about her. And once you can read through it, that everyone feels that way, and there's no discrepancy. There's no like, oh no, but she's probably really looking for love. It's like, no, nobody
Yeah.
feels like that. Everyone just thinks
No,
this is
it's obvious now after all these excuses that she's been putting in. It's obvious now that it was never really truly about, oh, I really love this guy, I want to be with him. It's just excuse behind excuse behind excuse. So it's like,
do you
I
feel
want
like
to see what
gonna,
happens.
yeah, but do you feel like she's going to try to come back in that Darcy way, where Darcy came in with Jesse and then she had a new man who was overseas, then she had Tom? Okay. Okay.
I think she's trying really hard to get her own show.
Okay. Well, Natalie, I appreciate you calling in, and I loved your perspective. I hope I see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Bye, Natalie. All right, guys, I'm going to start rotating out the callers real quick. We're going to go around. I'm going to bring up everybody one at a time, and let's just say what couple we're most excited about for next episode and why. Why are you excited about that couple? I guess I'll just go first just because I'm curious how it's going to go. I want to see more from Ariela and Biniam and see how she's going to deal with the Ethiopian culture when her mom's there. And when I say that, I mean, I think she's been doing a great job while she was pregnant. I think that sure, she complained a few times and whatever, but now that she's had the baby and her mom's going to come in and know exactly what to do or have her own kind of way of being with the baby. And then there's going to be Ethiopian culture where they're going to come in and they're going to have their own kind of like traditional ways of dealing with the baby. I'm curious if Ariela is going to freak out over that. Okay. That's what I'm looking forward to. Now I'm going to start with Kim. Hi, Kim.
Hey, I had a comment on Kenny and Armando, and that's actually the couple I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, what is it?
I had a step parent, and what I feel like Kenny needs to do is be her friend right now. She doesn't know him, and he doesn't need to come in being a disciplinarian right off the bat and telling Armando what he's doing wrong. I mean, he needs to come in, be her friend, get to know her. I care about you, even without your dad. I care about you. You're special. And everything I do is because I care about you. And he could start by learning Spanish.
Right.
So he could talk to her. And I think.
Well, see, I agree with you because I don't mean to cut you off, but I just think it's so hard to have that reaction when it just seems like you're not giving at all and you're not even trying to learn how to communicate with the girl.
Right. And that's what he needs to do. Everything he possibly can do to show Armando and Hannah that he loves her and that he really wants to be another dad to her instead of, oh, you're just a package deal and I have to deal with you.
So is that what you're looking forward to most, is seeing how they mesh?
Yes, I hope he sits down and thinks about it. I mean, I hope Kenny starts making some changes and yes, he gave up a lot. He gave up his family. He gave up everything he knew. But he also needs to learn the culture, learn the language if he's going to be there.
Right. Okay.
And that's where I am.
All right. Well, Kim, thank you for calling. It's always a pleasure. All right. I'll see you next time.
All right. Be safe.
All right. All right. Love Kim. All right. We're going to bring up who's your favorite couple that we're looking forward to. Dana. Oh. There you are.
I look forward to Ariel and Biniam, like you said, because the mom's coming in, and I do want to see the dynamics there. Plus, that baby is so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, so cute. But I also do want to kind of see how TLC is handling the dynamics of how Jihoon and Devan go on.
Well, now that they're officially not together, do you mean go on with the network?
Yeah, I mean, how they finish out the story with, before you knew it, everything was plastered on the net.
Right. So we know that they're obviously going to break up, but you're trying to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually a good one. All right. And also don't forget, Dana, if you're around, if you have a chance, we're going to be doing, we're going to do Mob Takeover on Wednesday and talk with Dr. Kirk Honda. And I know that we have Master of Blackjack in here, and I have to give Master of Blackjack a call because there's a whole big plan for Wednesday. So it's going to be really good. I hope to see you. All right. Thanks, Dana. See you soon. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Bye. All right. Next up, let's go Pearl. Hi, Pearl.
Hi, Adam.
Hi. All right.
Okay. Who am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Ariela and Binyam as well. I think they have the most interesting story going on going forward because I want to see what happens with all the cultural clashes, and I want to see if they go ahead with the circumcision and everything else. And I just want them to just both give each other a break. Ariela should give Binyam a break, and Binyam should give Ariela a break. He's acting like he knows everything about parenting. And this is her first child. It's scary. I don't have any children, but I know I'll be terrified, when I have my first one. And so I don't blame her for being anxious, especially being alone.
And like I said, I know that, again, you can't really down it, right? So you can't talk negatively against the culture or anything like that. And that's not what I want to do. But I think for someone who is not familiar with the fact that you come home from having a baby and you get a sheep slaughtered in front of you, I think that might be a little, for some people that could be traumatizing to be in that situation. And then all of a sudden you have like 15 people that you don't, not literally 15 people, but just like a whole room full of people that you don't know who come in and start like throwing religion at you and just asking you, what are you going to do? Do you know? No, we must do it. Here, let me touch the baby. Let's pass the baby around. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, definitely a lot. But at the same time, even in America, when you have a baby, people come and visit you. So I think it's just understanding each other. I think Binyam should explain his culture more to her so that she understands what to expect, and isn't so surprised. And I think that she also needs to realize that it's their baby as well. And he has some say as well.
Right.
It's not just what I want. It's my baby, it's their baby, and they should discuss these things. But, I'm not the expert, so I wouldn't judge either of them, and I wish them luck. And as for Jihoon and Devan, I thought it was hilarious when Jihoon, said to Devan, "Oh, Koreans are busy people. We don't have time to dance at a wedding." I'm like, well, you're not busy, Jihoon. Obviously, are you not Korean? You can't even get a job.
Oh man, yeah, he's a little bit of a contradiction sometimes, and again, that's why I say like a lot of people attack Devan because they think that she has this kind of like pout where she looks like she's upset, not happy a lot, and I think that even Jihoon's mom has pointed that out. But at the same time, it's like sometimes it seems like she really doesn't get her way a whole lot. In my opinion.
Yeah, and it was so rude when they were laughing when she asked the question about dancing at the wedding. That's everyone knows it. In every other culture, people dance at a wedding, so that's not something surprising.
Yeah, so, it's not like, haha, that's so stupid. It's like, no, that's
what everyone else does.
Yeah. All right, Pearl. Well, I appreciate you calling in, and I hope to see you tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, and
have a nice unpacking.
Oh, well, I just had to go through all of that, so I wish you the best of luck and just keep your head up. Okay.
All right. Take care, Adam.
All right. Bye, Pearl. All right. And then let's go. I have two more. Andrea, who are we looking forward to most?
I'm looking forward to see what happens with Kenny and Armando's marriage license. We know that in the preview, they say that they are going to deny it, but I want to know why. Like, what is the legal ground on that so I can do my research? My boyfriend is a lawyer, so he can also help me. Like, I am a bit nosy, so I want to know what happened, why they can't get married like they want to.
Wow. Okay, and I like that because that was the new one. And if you find out before we do, then definitely make sure, because I hope I will have you call in another day. I know it's not always, given, but if you do find out, I would love to have you call in and talk about it.
Yeah, will do. All
right. Thanks, Andrea. Have a great day.
Bye, Adam. Thanks.
Bye. All right. And then last, but certainly not least, and she comes on here and sometimes she's like, I'm sorry, I feel like I went on too long. And I'm like, no way, you could talk forever and I could listen all day. So hi, Lady O. You do say that. You did say that.
Because I do. I get it's so embarrassing, but I get so passionate, and I love this channel.
No, I go on forever. Everybody kept telling me, dude, you have to take it down. And I've been weaning myself off of coffee. So in the morning, I try to like take myself down and go for a walk and like I try to be calm right now because I was drinking up to 8 shots of espresso a day, and I was having like these little kind of anxiety attacks. And Jason was like, dude, you got to stop with the coffee. I was like, okay, fine.
I'm also a coffee addict, so maybe that explains a lot, but I kind of like my quirky personality, so hey.
Yeah, we'll keep you around. Don't change anything. All right, so Lady O, who's the couple you're looking forward to most and why?
Oh, I used to say Jihoon and Devan, but that's gotten so messy that I'm just going to stay away from it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Jenny and Sumit because I kind of think TLC is making a mockery of this. And I think that I believe in karma, and I do believe that everything done in the dark will come to light, and we will eventually see that Sumit has no real intent on being a real husband ever. So I just want to see how that's going to work out.
Oh my God. Okay. And again, I love that you and Pearl called in and gave this different perspective too. And I thought it was great too how informative Dana was right there with you, ladies. Like she kind of knew what was up to. And if you don't know what you don't know until somebody tells you, right? That sounds silly, but sure, we should all educate ourselves and try to understand before forming an opinion. But I think it's really interesting. You taught me a lot today. So I just want to say I appreciate that.
No problem, but I think that's the purpose of the show, which is why I feel like they're missing the mark recently. They are focusing on the drama and salaciousness of the couples, and they're really not focusing on what they used to, which is just the cultural differences, which is the whole idea of the show and why we watch, because we love to see West meets East and how will they compromise for their love. And I just think they've gotten away from that. So it just... gets me mad and I start ranting and raving.
All right. Well, Lady O, I appreciate you calling in. I hope I see you, if not tomorrow, for Mob Takeover on Wednesday with Master of Blackjack. And again, thank you. Have a great day.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
I love you. Bye. All right, guys. So what an awesome conversation. And to be honest with you, if Ablabi was here right now, and she could be in the chat room, I can't see everything at once because I have this makeshift situation going on, considering I just moved. By the way, send Pearl the best of luck for moving. But I just think that... Oh, nope. I totally lost it on my head. Okay. Well, anyways, that was great. Completely lost my train of thought. And yeah, I'm going to go and pack my boxes now. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, there's so much going on. Bye, guys. You guys are